I think it's important to reflect on the past few days. Just yesterday, we participated in the parade. And even before that, we were involved in various cultural events. But beyond just participating, we learned a lot. These experiences should push us to think more deeply about ourselves, about our future, and most importantly, about how to relaunch the African machine. Today, many people across the continent are fighting, not just for survival, but for sovereignty, for peace, for dignity. The Sahel, in particular, is a zone where these struggles manifest in the most violent way.
Adishama Konkonkotv suni eni esabri ensem ebre edu so de ensa so eni ede ba be so mo bomo na se uti na wo hwe obe subscribe wa share wa like no wa comment na tell no infrase we ya mamu na fe yentware mu kobo kenai ya ma me ba ko akodi dwa wo kodi ye no eye nam ene oton ti hu dwa no wodi obi agina ne kwa ho temoto so ene na di ano ama enam esu no nyina wo se ne obeto no 800 Ghana cedis wo mate ase ye adwuma kama ode nam na ma oni kuro no no so dane sika ma no sika no suspect no susu mienu se nti sika ye genuine nipa kuro ko wie no ofre nkrofo mo mbehwe ya sa sika ne counterfeit ne ma mesi wo nso de na adan ne pansire na so a wo tia enya asem ketewa na Jamestown mabunu na odosronko na mo wo maye ma mi se wo ntimi nhwe e ma ne mfasu nkofi wo ma wo mananane ade nti wo makeka mo nsase nya 600 Ghana de she na namu na awra ho papa Yebeko Burkina Mani Munso na His Excellency Ibrahim Traore eni sabre hihye yahudo de egu akoma nipa bi e person ko mbe yi na firi wona nso awrade gusu di ne ho afofie wona adwempa ne sene ya ne mamu ade hye egusu akie ne apa eni afidie bi obi besum bia na ahwinhwan aba begu onu ankasa nanim abusua wei ene nsem abremu yensa asoso a eni ede ho video nyina esomwo momodan sa obe subscribe wa share wa like na wa aha eye Konkonkotv so abusua yi yenkobo ani akonhume
Wamami ne kashine ne etelelo ne aonlo ni wo nyeme ame lo na me katafi epele ni fo nwa domo wo nyeme tocha aje na me yo Jamestown ne du aka me scan no ma me duo me ame promo do ama me mene ame wa yomu ame ale 8 million ni ekatu menye ya fonu wo nyeme tocha aje ninye de ko amaga du ama me ale ko ne katafi gano ne jamais pas l'eco, il y a tota piganone, I bought l'eco, when they may tota, I hear, I'm your dip down. No quackacy, I'm a economy, I'm a woman, many, I'm a male, I'm a mere, go now. Okpa fai. Okwa Yoruba. Kolebu amito. Wa kolebu kotese, wa kolebu kan kolebu e. Tell me na fraud le. Okpa fai. Okwa Yoruba. Afi no na afi. Onye me tocha, ha jenye gami. Ready am me fraud. Am me amu ska. Am baale. Ene kata tikenone. Ai baale re o kai baale onye bana. Mo afi video onye na. Twa no manya ba.
Originally we were to talk to Adolfo. Paddy Daniel, like a guy shoot or never be a worker. You like a probably never feel any. I was 2 million. 2 million, I shot out 2 million, more 2 million. I saw no, I couldn't know that thing. 8 million. Like a mukulu. No, Anyame, Yakwa, S.I. You are Stafrajaka on your mini. Konya mini ni eteni omo ne ba ne keneke shikaba e ba ngona ni oma mini un eteni omo ne keneke shikaba kanta fikiba e ba ngona ni chabele ne tashie ebi yen bi ni yasku ba asu e yen yen me oni ba asu e ba kwa kokwa ame alo gba kenashine fo ba yeko ko no ni mo fi eyin ko mo lo un le che afili etelu afili mo no kanta fika nyame no ne was someone who are young Moko back again. I'm going to be other and the two of us feel it. Table, man. They tell me a tomato. A tomato. What is tomato? Nagaluani, Nigalaga 950. They come back up something. Nigalaga, Nicolabagana 8 million. Nicolabagana 8 million. But if I just I just can't get a walk in there. Like a wood, Nicolole, Nicolole, no Nica, maybe here come the Onyankele, or that, that's a flow. Onyankele. I say, my friend, no, I am a scanner, no, one worker, I'll be at the window for 1 hour. Quality, a free wash card on it. 2 million can't Africa donner. Come and be fine. I can let just Scapapa Femini. I can let Scabonu. I can let no Scabonu. I can let no Nipanya farm and be friend. You call your barman. You already only your mom. I love me tell you on your phone. Panya fine. You call your bar and I can't quack up. Fanny. Well, 1 on 1 young can check his car and let none 1 young work and Scapapa 1 young can check it. Scan no man be on a on Panya Fire was scan 1 island. No funny.
I think it's important to reflect on the past few days. Just yesterday, we participated in the parade. And even before that, we were involved in various cultural events. But beyond just participating, we learned a lot. These experiences should push us to think more deeply about ourselves, about our future, and most importantly, about how to relaunch the African machine. Today, many people across the continent are fighting, not just for survival, but for sovereignty, for peace, for dignity. The Sahel, in particular, is a zone where these struggles manifest in the most violent ways. And in the face of such adversity, we must honor those who gave their lives. Those fighters who gave themselves body and soul and who now rest beyond our reach. They fought against neo-imperialism, against exploitation, against injustice. So I ask you now to observe 1 minute of silence in their memory. Let me take a moment to share something more personal. We are here at the University of Mendeleev. For those of you who studied science, you surely know this name. And for me, this name brings back memories. During my school years, we had students nicknamed after the scientists they struggled to understand, like Mendeleev, the speaker, and others. But I love science. I am a scientist at heart. So much so that even if I'm woken up in the middle of the night, I can recite the periodic table from memory. Chemical equations? I can balance them as if it were second nature. Thermodynamics? I've calculated standard enthalpies of formation since high school. It's not just theory, it's practice. And that's what we're missing. Practice. In our countries, we lack the laboratories that allow us to apply what we learn. Take war, for instance. We buy weapons, we buy ammunition, but the cotton used in soldiers' uniforms and even in gunpowder. Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger all produce it. Yet we cannot process it ourselves. Why? Because we don't practice applied chemistry. Missiles, fuel, propulsion, these are all matters of chemistry. Russia is a leader in these technologies. Everyone wants their latest missile, the Orichin. But the real question is, do we know how to create this kind of fuel? Can we design the engine to launch such a device? This is why it's so important that you're here. Russia has produced great minds in chemistry, mathematics, and physics. Yet history has been distorted. We've been told that only others are strong in these fields. But now, history is correcting itself. The truth is emerging. We must recognize where true knowledge comes from and use it to strengthen ourselves. Because a country that is weak is a country that is destined to disappear in this world of predation. Only the strong survive. And strength today means science, innovation, and independence. Nuclear countries don't lose wars. Why? Because they control energy at the atomic level. We've all studied atomistics. You know that an electron striking a nucleus releases energy. But beyond the theory, can we enrich it? Can we practically harness that knowledge, even to the point of making 10 euros? That's the challenge before us. So I say this to all of you. Enjoy learning. Learn deeply. Learn practically. Because your countries need you. Africa needs you. As we commemorate the 80th anniversary of the victory over Nazism, let us remember not only the past but the path forward, through science, through strength, and through unity. In early 2025, a seemingly simple university visit turned into an international moment of African pride. Captain Ibrahim Traore, the transitional president of Burkina Faso, stepped into Moscow's D. Mendeleev University to a sea of applause, cheers, and chants. Videos went viral, news cycles shifted, and a message rang out loud and clear. Africa is a new narrative, a proud, assertive Africa, no longer apologizing for its past or waiting for validation. The chants of Son of Africa weren't just words, they were a declaration of unity, admiration, and defiance. As cameras flashed and students chanted, it became clear, Captain Traore had become more than a man. He had become a movement. What makes this moment so powerful is that it came from youth, from students, tomorrow's thinkers, leaders, scientists. It showed that Traore's influence extends far beyond borders. In him, many young Africans see themselves, bold, unafraid, and determined to reclaim dignity. When Captain Traore entered the auditorium at D. Mendeleev University in Moscow, the energy was electric. African students studying abroad, many from across West and Central Africa, rose to their feet in a roar of pride. Son of Africa, they chanted. The people's president, echoed through the halls. This was no ordinary state visit. The warmth was raw, unfiltered, and deeply emotional. Many students waved the flags of Burkina Faso and Pan-African colors. Some cried. Others chanted freedom slogans. For once, a leader from their continent was being celebrated not for pleasing foreign interests, but for standing up to them. Traore stood silently for a moment, hand on his heart, absorbing the moment. Then, with a raised fist, a universal symbol of resistance, he saluted the crowd. In that instant, history wasn't being made behind closed doors. It was being shouted, sung, and claimed by Africa's youth will feel disconnected from politics. Corruption, inequality, and dependency have caused widespread disillusionment. But Traore's rise and the response it has triggered globally suggest a powerful shift is underway. It signals that integrity, authenticity, and courage still resonate. Moments like this challenge the narrative of African helplessness. They show the world that Africans are not just victims or recipients of aid, but architects of their own destiny. Moscow's reception wasn't about Russia. It was about Africans showing solidarity on an international stage. This is also a story about perception. For too long, African leaders have sought Western approval. Traore, by contrast, commands loyalty and admiration from the grassroots up. His legitimacy is rooted in action, not alliances. One of the most powerful elements of this moment in Moscow is how it unites Africans from different nations under a shared purpose. Pan-Africanism, once sidelined by internal divisions and foreign agendas, is seeing a revival. Young people are connecting across borders through social media, education, and shared ideals. Traore has become a Pan-African symbol not because he seeks to be, but because others have made him one. His story reminds the continent that power lies not in institutions, but in collective will. The Moscow welcome was a symbol of this. A new generation taking ownership of the African narrative. Pan-Africanism is not just about politics. It's about self-love, economic independence, and cultural pride. Traore's journey exemplifies all of these. This story doesn't end in Moscow. It's part of a broader geopolitical shift, where African nations are seeking new alliances, asserting their sovereignty, and challenging outdated power dynamics. Traore's presence in Russia reflects a new kind of diplomacy, one not dictated by debt traps or military bases, but by shared respect and interest. The world is watching. Western powers, uncomfortable with Traore's popularity, are recalibrating their strategies. Meanwhile, Africans are feeling emboldened. Whether through art, business, or politics, they're standing taller, walking prouder. The idea is simple. Africa will no longer be spoken about. It will speak for itself. As the cheers in Moscow echoed across continents, one truth became undeniable. Ibrahim Traore has become more than a man. He's become an idea. And ideas, when fueled by purpose and people, are unstoppable. He represents an Africa that refuses to beg, an Africa that refuses to break, one that builds, educates, protects, and uplifts, one that doesn't wait for the world to change, but changes the world itself.